Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Sugess S418-2 fully automatic chronograph. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm wearing this Thorn SHY021. I haven't sold this watch yet because I'm still waiting for the buckle. I still have it on a Vario buckle. But supposedly the store's finally sending it to me. And Greg was wearing my Pagani Design PD 1644 chronograph with the VK63 movement. Grego said that during Princess Leia's trial for killing Jabba the Hutt, Salacious B. Crumb testified that Princess told Jabba that if he didn't release Han Solo, she would blow up his barge with her thermal detonator. Leia's lawyers said, "Are you yanking the court's chain?" He said no, but she sure gave Jabba's chain a big yank. Let's take a look at the watch. It came in a really nice box. It has a little sleeve here. Then a little, says Sugess and Seastern. So Sugess and Seastern are related. And we open it up. Very nice box. And it came with a screwdriver because this has screw pins, not push pins. And here it is. This is basically one of the nicest watches I've ever bought from AliExpress. I've been very happy with it. It looks just like a Daytona, other than the fact it's not a fake, because it doesn't say Rolex, it's branded Sugess. And I'm very pleased with this watch. I was going to get a Steinhardt with my AliExpress money, but I went ahead and bought this instead because I figured it was more useful. I usually don't buy watches in this price range for review because I have to turn around and sell them, and I would take too big of a loss on a watch in this price, but I'm going to keep this one because I want to do a long-term report on it too, because I want to be able to report on the movement. This is the first Sugess on my channel, but I've had a few Seasterns, which appears to be a sub or sister brand of Sugess. This is the most expensive AliExpress watch I've ever reviewed, costing me $370 plus tax. But this is one of the most affordable automatic chronographs one can buy. Most higher-end AliExpress chronographs have a Seagull ST1900 series mechanical movement, which is not automatic, or have a Seiko VK Mecha Quartz movement. This Sugess is an homage to a Rolex Daytona, which is still ridiculously hard to get despite the recent deflation of the Rolex COVID bubble. Buying a Daytona at suggested retail at an authorized dealer is basically getting free money, as you could turn around and sell it for over twice as much as what you paid for it. This Sugess comes in 6 different colorways. I chose the Le Mans colorway, which has the reverse painted dial with the solid white subdials and the red 100 on the ceramic bezel. If you want something else exotic, there's also the blue and brown of the platinum model, which of course the Sugess will come in steel. If you want a more basic model, you have white or black with either a ceramic or steel bezel. You can get each one with a solid or display case back. I chose the display because it made a better review, as I could show you the movement. The watch is 38.3 millimeters if you measure at the bezel, so it's a little bit small considering, although it doesn't look that small. 47.2 millimeters lug to lug with protruding end links. And it's only 12.5 millimeters thick, and the crystal actually sticks up a little bit. So some of it is actually crystal, so it's fairly thin. Has a 20 millimeter lug width, which tapers down to 16 at the clasp, and weighs 142 grams on the supply bracelet with no links removed. Yes, you heard that right, no links, because it fit me right off the bat. Then we have the bezel. The bezel's the newer style with the metal border, which Rolex is doing now. Most of your AliExpress homages don't have this yet, so that's nice. And then we have the ceramic insert with the tachymeter, and this is the Le Mans colorway, so it has a red 100 there. That, for the Rolex, that was to celebrate the 100th year of the Le Mans 24-hour race. Then up top, we have the dial, and we have the Sugess name. It says automatic chronograph, and this is indeed an automatic. And then if you look at the Rehat chapter ring, or just the Rehat, I should say, you can see the word Sugess over and over again. That's kind of a nice touch. You usually don't see that in a AliExpress watch. And then we have the minute track. Then we have the indices. We have a triangle at the top. And then we have these little teeth-like things everywhere else. And then the dial itself is a flat black. No sunburst effect. I like that. It's kind of glossy though, even though there's no sunburst effect. It's a very deep black. And then we have the hands. We have the stick hands of that look like a Daytona, and they're loomed. And then then we have the chronograph hand, and there's a little bit of contrast issue there. It's kind of hard to see the chronograph hand on the back background, especially with my camera. It's a little bit easier to see with the naked eye. And then we have the subdials. We have the running second hand at the 6. We have the chronograph minute counter at the 3, and it counts to 30 minutes. And then we have the chronograph hour counter on the left here. And it goes up to 12. And so obviously it goes there's a marker for every half hour, since the minutes only go to a half hour. And there is no date, and there's no date in the movement, so there's no ghost date. Most automatic chronographs don't have a date because it's just a needed complication to something that's already very complicated. Then we have the crown. It's signed. It's a screw down, and I haven't been very pleased with the thread action. When you unscrew it, it doesn't pop. So you just keep unscrewing till you just give up and figure you've unscrewed it. And then when you go to screw it back down, sometimes it just doesn't catch, and you have to kind of fight it, and then eventually it goes though. So not the best thread action I've ever seen. And then we have the pushers, and the pushers are lock pushers. A screw down pusher really isn't a screw down. They're really just locks, so you don't accidentally push it when it's underwater, because that's really bad. That would let in water and ruin the movement. And this one has 50 meters of water resistance. Then this, of course, is a chronograph. Unscrew the top pusher, press it, and it starts ticking away. And this is a 4 hertz movement, so it's ticking 8 times a second. Press it again to stop. And then this is the reset. When I did my unboxing, the reset wasn't working at first, but I haven't had any issues with it since. So I think it was just being brand new and just haven't been used yet. And you just screw the pushers back down and it locks them, so you can't press it. Then we have the crystal. The crystal is a flat sapphire, and I think it has AR coating because it's doing a pretty good job of not reflecting. And then we have the case. I'm really happy with the case. As you can see, the lugs curved down a little bit, so it wears nice and flat on the wrist. And it's polished, but it's a nice looking polish. The quality is pretty good on this watch. You can really tell compared to a lot of other watches. But then again, you're paying for the quality. This is $370. This is the most expensive watch I ever bought from AliExpress. But it's really nice. Then we have the case back. This is a display case back, and it's a screw down, and it's a coin edge. And I had the option of getting a non-display case back, but I wanted the display just so I could show you the movement. And I forgot to check to see what size of opener you need. Let me do that real quick. You will need a 31.5 millimeter opener to open this. And I don't have one. I have a 32.5 and a 30.5, and the 30.5 is too small, and the 32.5 is too big. So I'm just assuming 31.5. And there's the movement. And as you can see, the rotor isn't signed or anything. And underneath the case back is the Peacock SL4801 movement. This is the automatic chronograph movement. It's a 4 hertz movement with 41 joules, a 45-hour power reserve, and it has a unidirectional rotor. See, spins in one direction freely. And once again, this is about the most affordable automatic chronograph you can get. Usually, if you want an automatic chronograph, you're going to have to go Swiss or Seiko and spend a lot of money. Tissot is about the cheapest Swiss watches with automatic chronographs you can get, but they're going to be more expensive than the $370 I paid for this. So I've noticed when I've had to set this a few times because it's running a little fast, but I haven't seen it on the Timegrapher yet. So let's go ahead and see how it's doing. Here it is on the Timegrapher. As you can see, yeah, it's running a little fast, plus 11 seconds. And I looked up the lift angle. It said 52 degrees, but the amplitude looks a little bit high. So I don't know if I have the right lift angle or not. But 0.1 millisecond beat error, so there's just a tiny bit of beat error. But no, 11 seconds isn't bad. And at least this is a hacking movement, so it's better that it's fast rather than slow, because when you go to set it, all you have to do is hack the movement and wait for time to catch up. With a slow movement, you have to actually move the hands. So it's a little bit easier if it's fast. The bracelet is a 3-link oyster style with polished center links. And the finish work is really nice, really good quality there. We have solid protruding end links, and we have screw pin adjusters. And if you look at the other side, they go all the way through, but they're really nicely finished, so you can hardly tell. And then we have the clasp. The clasp is okay. It's an oyster style, of course, but this end here doesn't articulate like most of them do. And then we have a signed inner with Sugess. Then we also have a signed fold over. And this one does not have on the fly adjustment. You have to pull it out for the easy link. And then you have 3 slots of micro adjust. But at least unlike a Pagani design, you can remove it from either end. And the pushing in the easy link and pulling it out is very easy, unlike a Pagani design where sometimes you really have to yank and sometimes they get stuck and you can't even remove it. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. That looks really nice. It wears really nice and flat because the lugs curve down a little bit. I didn't remove any links though, so if your wrist is bigger than mine, you're going to have to ask for more links. I did move it in 1 slot of micro adjust, but that's all. So, but this is a $370 watch. You ask the store that sells it that you want extra links, and they will give you extra links to make the sale. That should be no issue. I've never had to do that. I've never tried, but I know my friend Joe Hain from Sweden did that when he bought his octopus. Here we are in the Lume room. One would hope a $400 AliExpress watch would have great Lume, and although this watch does indeed have Lume better than your typical sub $50 AliExpress watch, it is not exactly going to win any awards or contests. As we speed up the time, we see the blue glow of BGW9 with some of the indices being quite a bit stronger than the others. None of the subdial hands or the chronograph hands are lumed, and the major hands are about right in the middle compared to the strong and weak markers. There's a little life to the hands, but everything is fading and will soon be gone. This is maybe a step above so-so, we'll call it decent, but it isn't exactly good Lume. What I like about this watch, it's an automatic 4 hertz chronograph movement for $400. It looks great with high quality fit, finish, and wearability, and it's super thin for an automatic chronograph. What are my gripes and groans? The bracelet is too short. I removed no links to fit on a 7.5-inch wrist. The crown thread action isn't the best. It's kind of difficult to screw it back down. And the end of the clasp doesn't articulate, and there's no on-the-fly adjustment. Do I recommend this watch? Sure, this watch is awesome. The automatic chronograph is still quite an expensive luxury in the watch world, and getting one this nice looking for under $500 is an impressive feat. You may not be able to afford a real Daytona, but you'll be happy as can be with this alternative. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Sugess S418-2, and I'll be back with another review, or actually I'll be back with an unboxing because I'm out of watches to review until I get some more. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel, and if you like this watch, be sure to use my affiliate link and I'll get a decent sized commission because this watch isn't cheap. And I'd like to thank my Members Choice members. Here they are. There's still only 4 of them, but oh well, I decided that I'd keep this program going till I either ran out of money or lost all my members. So 4 is still members. And the Members Choice watch should be arriving fairly soon. So I'll have a Members Choice unboxing pretty soon. Bye.